Let's talk about the genocide and slaughtering of Christians in Nigeria, and how, because of President Trump's words, Nigeria now stands at the center of global attention. President Trump, in a speech, warned that if the Nigerian government keeps allowing the killing of Christians, the U.S. will cut off all aid to Nigeria. He also threatened possible military action to eliminate the terrorists responsible.
If the Nigerian government continues to allow the killing of Christians, the USA will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria. We're going to do things to Nigeria that Nigeria is not going to be happy about and may very well go into that now disgraced country, guns a-blazing, to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible, horrible atrocities.
On December 21, 2022, tragedy struck the village of Malagum in Kagoro, Kaduna State. Armed attackers invaded the community, leaving behind devastation and grief. Among the survivors was this woman, the only remaining member of her family. In a single night, she lost everything: her home, her loved ones, and all 6 of her children. Yet, in the midst of unbearable pain, her cry was not one of anger or hatred. Through tears, she whispered, "Jesus, I still love you." Her words echo the unbroken faith of many Christians in Nigeria who continue to suffer relentless persecution. Despite countless attacks and mounting evidence of a targeted campaign of violence, the silence from both the government and much of the media remains deafening. This tragedy is just one of many, a glimpse into a long and painful reality faced by innocent communities across the nation. In light of these ongoing atrocities, countless Nigerians are now standing in support of President Donald Trump's call to take decisive action. The world must no longer turn away from what is happening, a quiet genocide unfolding in Nigeria. Let's take a look at brief history of how U.S. presidents treats terrorists on the soil of another country.
Good evening. Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of al-Qaeda.
Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is dead. He was the founder and leader of ISIS.
It was nearly 10 years ago that a bright September day was darkened by the worst attack on the American people in our history. The images of 9/11 are seared into our national memory.
Capturing or killing Baghdadi has been the top national security priority of my administration. U.S. Special Operations Forces executed a dangerous and daring nighttime raid. I got to watch much of it.
On September 11th, 2001, in our time of grief, the American people came together. On that day, no matter where we came from, what God we prayed to, or what race or ethnicity we were united as one American family.
He died after running into a dead-end tunnel, whimpering and crying and screaming all the way. The compound had been cleared by this time, with people either surrendering or being shot and killed. Baghdadi in the tunnel, and he had dragged 3 of his young children with him. They were led to certain death.
Today, at my direction, the United States launched a targeted operation against that compound. A small team of Americans carried out the operation with extraordinary courage and capability. No Americans were harmed. They took care to avoid civilian casualties. After a firefight, they killed Osama bin Laden and took custody of his body.
He ignited his vest, killing himself and the 3 children. His body was mutilated by the blast. The tunnel had caved in on it in addition. The thug who tried so hard to intimidate others spent his last moments in utter fear, in total panic and dread.
The death of bin Laden marks the most significant achievement to date in our nation's effort to defeat al-Qaeda.
We were in the compound for approximately 2 hours. We took highly sensitive material and information.
Yet his death does not mark the end of our effort.
These savage monsters will not escape their fate.
There's no doubt that al-Qaeda will continue to pursue attacks against us. We must, and we will, remain vigilant at home and abroad. As we do, we must also reaffirm that the United States is not and never will be at war with Islam.
Baghdadi and the losers who worked for him, in some cases, they were very frightened puppies. In other cases, they were hardcore killers.
And on nights like this one, we can say to those families who have lost loved ones to al-Qaeda's terror, justice has been done.
Baghdadi was vicious and violent, and he died in a vicious and violent way as a coward, running and crying. This raid was impeccable and could only have taken place with the acknowledgement and help of certain other nations and people.
Tonight, we give thanks to the countless intelligence and counterterrorism professionals who've worked tirelessly to achieve this outcome.
I want to thank the soldiers and sailors, airmen and Marines involved in last night's operation.
Let us remember that we can do these things not just because of wealth or power, but because of who we are. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
He died like a dog. He died like a coward. The world is now a much safer place. God bless America. Thank you.
When America decides to act against terror, the whole world feels the impact. Under President Obama, Osama bin Laden was brought down, justice at last. Under President Trump, the leader of ISIS fell, another message to those who deal in death. It showed that evil can be stopped, and that courage still matters, but we've also seen the other side. In Libya, Gaddafi's fall left a country torn apart. In Iraq, the war brought down a tyrant, but it also opened the door to more violence and pain. Now in Nigeria, as Christians face a quiet genocide, families lost, villages destroyed, the question returns, should America step in again? If the U.S. intervenes, it could bring hope to the helpless, or unleash another cycle of fire and pain. In a tweet by Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on January 29, 2014, as displayed here, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu acknowledged the genocide and slaughtering of Christians. Amazingly, there has not been anything changed since that time. Instead, the killing continued on increase. It's pathetic that some Nigerians continue to lie and pretend that there is no massacre and slaughtering of Christians in Nigeria, when the Nigerian president have long acknowledged that it's evident that Islamist extremists targeted Christian predominantly regions like southern Kaduna, Plateau, Benue, Nasarawa, Ebonyi, and some other regions where Christian worshippers are burned alive or massacred with assault rifles AK-47. Regrettably, some politicians and clergymen working for the government continue to refute these allegations, which happens on a daily basis. The intervention of U.S. military has long been overdue, and it's important that the U.S. government will move in to rescue Christians in Nigeria.